It's 2:47 a.m., and my brain might beautifully chaotic. Coconut-sized brain has just whispered the most dangerous thought of the night. What if I quit my job and moved to Africa to become a hermit? I mean, think about it. No more deadlines. No more emails that start with "per my last message." Just me, the trees, maybe a friendly baboon or two, and the sound of wind instead of New York traffic. It sounds peaceful. It sounds free. It sounds like the kind of idea that makes perfect sense only when you're lying awake at 3 a.m. The first image that pops into my head is me sitting under a giant baobab tree. Meditating. I'm cross-legged well. As cross-legged as a sloth can be, and I've somehow grown a magnificent beard made of moss. A curious zebra stops by, asks if I have Wi-Fi, and when I tell him no, he looks offended and gallops away. That's the thing about modern life. Even in my fantasy, I can't escape people asking for the password. Then I imagine building my hermit hut. Simple, right? Just sticks, mud, and a sense of purpose. Except I'm a sloth. It would probably take me a year to hammer in one nail. By the time I finish the walls, the rainy season will have washed them away. So maybe I just live on the tree instead. Nature's penthouse suite. My neighbors. Birds who wake up at 5 a.m. and gossip louder than Manhattan traffic. I've escaped the city just to live inside a feathery group chat. But I wouldn't be a lonely hermit that oh no. I'd be the jungle's slowest influencer. Every day, I'd film deep thoughts like "silence speaks louder than Wi-Fi" and post them nowhere because I've given up technology. Then I'd spend the next 6 hours trying to remember what I was supposed to be doing. Maybe I decarve philosophical messages on rocks, things like rest is resistance or bananas are. Temporary, peace is forever. Future explorers would find them and think I was some kind of enlightened guru. Little would they know I was just trying to stay awake. By week 3, though, I'd probably start missing small things, like iced coffee or complaining about iced coffee. Prices or the sound of sirens that used to annoy me, but now, in their absence, feel weirdly comforting. I'd try to recreate New York life by talking to coconuts and pretending one of them is my boss. "Hey, Jerry, I'll get that report to you soon," I'd say, sipping on coconut water and laughing at how free I feel. And then I'd realize Jerry was a fruit, and I'd officially gone too far. Then comes the wildlife phase. I'd befriend an elephant who thinks I'm just an unusually lazy monkey. We'd share quiet mornings by the river. He'd teach me how to appreciate stillness. And I'd teach him how to nap upside down, perfect cultural exchange, until one day a leopard stops by, clearly interested in trying Slothy the hermit. I'd stare at him, frozen not out of fear, but because moving fast has never been an option. Luckily, he gets bored and leaves. Maybe being slow has its perks after all. After a while, my hermit brain would start turning philosophical. I'd lie on a rock, watching stars, and think, what if everyone just slowed down? What if the world's biggest problem isn't hunger or war but rushing? Maybe peace starts with moving at the speed of a nap. Maybe humanity's secret was never technology, but hammocks. I'd start writing a jungle manifesto called The Art of Doing Almost Nothing. Critics would call it lazy. I'd call it enlightenment. But then loneliness would sneak in, the kind that hums quietly, like a mosquito that won't leave your ear. I'd realize that all my freedom feels empty without someone to share it with. Even the zebra, the birds, the elephant, they have their own worlds to return to. I'd miss conversations. Even awkward ones. I'd miss being annoyed. Isn't that funny? You dream of silence until it's too loud. You dream of space until it feels like exile. One night, I'd sit under the moon, surrounded by nothing but the hum of insects and the echo of my thoughts, and I'd realize something profound. Maybe I don't need to quit the world to find peace. Maybe I just need to pause it once in a while, because the hermit life isn't about running away from noise, it's about finding quiet inside it. I don't have to move to Africa to be free. I just need to stop checking my email after 9 p.m., and as the sun rises over my imaginary jungle, I'd roll over in my hammock thinking, maybe tomorrow I'll actually try meditating. Or maybe I'll just dream about it again, either way. The thought makes me smile. Maybe that's the real magic of these midnight. What if they remind me that the world, even in my head, is a strange, funny, beautiful place? Now, if only I could actually fall asleep.